The sun dipped low over St. Mary's Secondary School, painting the sky orange as the final bell rang. Students poured out into the courtyard, noisy and carefree, their laughter rising above the chatter of vendors waiting outside the gates. Amara balanced her books in her arms, her long braids brushing her shoulders. Beside her walked Chike, carrying her school bag like a badge of honor. "Chike," Amara teased, "one day people will say I've enslaved you." He chuckled. "Let them talk. If carrying your bag is the price for your smile, I'll pay it every day." She rolled her eyes but smiled. Their classmates called them husband and wife, and even teachers shook their heads knowingly when the two were spotted together. To Amara and Chike, though, the world disappeared whenever they were together, sitting by the football pitch, sharing groundnuts, and weaving dreams of the future. One evening, as the last rays of sunlight bathed the dusty field, Amara leaned her head on his shoulder. "Do you really think we'll make it, Chike? The future feels so uncertain." "I don't just think it," he said, eyes burning with conviction. "I know it. Give me time, Amara. I'll build a life for us. You'll see. One day, you'll never lack anything." She believed him. At least, back then, she did. University brought changes Amara never expected. Lecture halls buzzed with ambition. Hostels overflowed with stories from every corner of the country. And her new friends lived lives she had only glimpsed in magazines. They wore designer clothes, carried iPhones, and flew abroad during holidays. Amara, though intelligent and admired, often felt out of place. Chike, studying in another city, called every night. His voice carried hope and warmth. But he was struggling too, working part-time, borrowing textbooks, sending her tiny stipends from his tutoring jobs. "Just hold on," he told her once, his voice steady but tired. "Things will change. After graduation, I'll find a good job. We'll make it together." Amara smiled, but inside her heart ached. What if someday never came? Then came Tunde. He arrived at a departmental dinner in a sleek black car, his confidence filling the room before he even spoke. The son of a wealthy politician, he had money, influence, and an effortless charm that made people orbit around him. And he noticed Amara immediately. Unlike Chike's promises of tomorrow, Tunde delivered the present. Imported perfumes, shoes, surprise envelopes of cash, weekends at resorts. At first, Amara resisted. She told herself she loved Chike, that she belonged to him. But when her school fees were delayed, it was Tunde who settled them with a single phone call. When her shoes tore, he replaced them with imported ones the next day. Her friends whispered, impressed, "Amara has upgraded." At night, though, she lay awake staring at her phone, torn between the man who loved her deeply and the man who could give her the world. The break came on a quiet evening. Amara sat across from Chike during a visit. His shirt was worn, his palms rough from endless jobs. He spoke passionately about the future, but her resolve crumbled. "Chike," she began softly, tears already forming, "I can't keep living on hope. I need security. I need more than just dreams." His voice cracked. "So this is about money?" Her lips trembled. "It's about survival." He stared at her for a long moment, his silence heavier than words. Finally, he nodded slowly, stood, and walked away. She never forgot the emptiness in his eyes as he left. That night, Amara wept, but by morning, she chose Tunde. Life with Tunde was dazzling. A luxury apartment in Lekki, vacations in Dubai, a car with leather seats, perfumes from Paris. On Instagram, Amara shone, envied by everyone. But reality was different. Tunde loved her beauty but not her soul. He was generous with gifts but stingy with time. His life was business meetings, parties, and nights spent elsewhere. When she tried to speak of her dreams, he waved her off. "Don't stress, Amara. You don't need to worry about anything. Just look beautiful, enjoy life. I've already taken care of everything." At first, she convinced herself this was love. But slowly, the gifts felt like chains, and the mansion felt like a prison. Meanwhile, whispers of Chike reached her. He had won a scholarship abroad. He was thriving. People said he might never return. Amara forced herself not to think about him. But every night, when Tunde's side of the bed was cold, she wondered what her life might have been if she had waited. Years passed. Then one afternoon, at a wedding reception, Amara saw him. CHIKE stood tall, confident, transformed. He wore a simple suit but carried himself with quiet dignity. His laughter was calm, his manner magnetic. He was not the boy she left. He was a man who had kept his promises. Only not to her. Their eyes met across the hall. Her breath caught. He walked over, his voice steady. Amara. Her lips trembled. CHIKE, you came back. I told you I would, he said. She smiled faintly, but her chest ached. That night, she lay awake in her mansion. Tunde absent as usual, her heart twisting with regret. She was so broke and couldn't afford to buy her usual skincare product. Unable to resist, she reached out weeks later. They met in a quiet cafe. She was wearing a native dress and couldn't stop shaking as she spoke. CHIKE, I made a mistake, she whispered, tears welling. I traded love for comfort, but it's all empty. I should never have left you. CHIKE listened in silence, his eyes unreadable. After a long pause, he finally spoke. When you left, I was broken. But that pain pushed me to build. I rebuilt my life without you. And now. He hesitated, then his voice softened. I have a wife, children, a family. I can't betray them. The words pierced deeper than any blade. So this is it? She asked, her voice breaking. He nodded. We were a story, Amara. A beautiful one. But some stories are not meant to last. Her tears fell freely, but CHIKE didn't reach for her. He only stood, gave her one last, long look, and walked out of the cafe, leaving her with the echo of what could have been. Back in her mansion, Amara sank into despair. Tunde remained distant, his affection measured in gifts, not time. Her designer clothes mock her, her vacations felt hollow. She had everything, yet nothing. At night, she drove aimlessly through the city, haunted by memories of CHIKE's laughter, his promises, his unwavering love. One rainy evening, after another lonely dinner, she drove to their old school field. She parked by the fence and sobbed, her cries swallowed by the storm. On her way back, her car skidded on the wet road. The crash was sudden, merciless. News spread quickly. Some said it was an accident. Others whispered it was despair. At her funeral, Tunde delivered a short, cold speech. He looked uncomfortable, as though eager to return to his world of business. But at the back of the gathering stood CHIKE. He said nothing, his face unreadable. When the service ended, he stepped forward, laid a single white rose on her coffin, and lingered for a long moment. No tears fell, but his eyes carried a sorrow deeper than words. Then, quietly, he turned and walked away, back to the family he had built, carrying the memory of a love that had died long before Amara herself. And so, her story lived on, whispered among friends as a cautionary tale. Don't trade patience for glitter. Don't confuse comfort with love. Some choices cannot be undone, and some losses last forever. PLS subscribe and share. Thank you.